everybody. I'm so happy to be with you again to talk about our oceans, right? We have learned a lot of things this week about our oceans, haven't we? We're going to learn just about a couple of more creatures that live in our ocean and review about the ones that we've already learned about. I wanted to just show you a picture of our ocean. Isn't that something? Isn't that beautiful? There's a lot of things that's going on underneath that water, right? We enjoy it when we go to the beach and we play and we make sand castles and we look at the fish that can swim in the very shallow water. But it's others' home, isn't it? It's where our sea creature friends live. There's so much to learn about them. Another sea creature that we're going to learn about. What is this? A whale, right? He is huge, isn't he? Just like the dolphin and just like us, the whale breathes water. They do the same thing as the dolphins do. They go up to the surface, they break the surface and go into the air, and they blow out any water that they may have trapped inside them. And they take a deep breath so that they can go right back into the water, right? Isn't that something? It's very unusual to see something this big that lives in the deep ocean to breathe air. But he does. And he or she gives live births also. Her babies are called calves. And a calf whale is about 8 or 9 feet long. Can you believe that? That is probably taller than your daddy and your mommy. That's how big a baby whale is. That is huge, isn't it? And they just swim along and they look for food. And they live. They could go down deep. They could go down very deep. But they also just kind of scan the surface. They're very inquisitive. They like to see what's going on. They're always learning too, just like we are. I think whales are fascinating. Don't you? Another creature is a crab. What do you think about him? Have you seen crabs on the beach when you go? I have too. I think they're so cute and they're so silly. Don't you think so? Isn't he just remarkable looking? Do you know that crabs have 5 pairs of legs? If it has 5 pairs, how many legs do you think he has? If a pair equals how many? 2. And he has 5 pairs. That means he has 10 legs. Very good. He's got 4 legs on this side. He's got 4 legs on this side. And then he has 2 legs in the front. And they look like, well, they are pinchers. How do you think that a crab does that? Can you do that? Can you have 2 pinchers also? That's a lot of legs for that crab, isn't it? How does a crab walk? He walks sideways, doesn't he? How would we look if we walked sideways wherever we went? I think it could be kind of fun for a little bit. I don't know if I could do it all the time. You should try to walk sideways today in your house or outside and see how you can get around. Can you get around just like you do now, just going sideways? You should give that a try. That could be lots of fun. Do you know the smallest crab is about the size of a pea? That is a very small crab. And the biggest crab is a Japanese crab, and he is like 12 feet wide. That is ginormous, isn't it? From a little pea to 12 feet. And then they range all in between. Isn't that something? Do you know that a crab's eyes kind of stick up? Do you see that? Do you notice that when you see crabs? They stick up on things that are called a stalk. Way up here. What do you think about that? How is that different from our eyes? Are our eyes on stalks? No, they're not. They're kind of inside our heads, aren't they? How would we look if we had eyes on stalks? And they just kind of look in both directions, don't they? They're awfully cute when they do that. Something else that's interesting about a crab, they don't have any bones. Isn't that something? How is that different from us? Do we have bones? We do have bones, don't we? Crabs don't have bones. They have a hard shell, and they have joints in their legs that they can bend, and they can go very quickly, but they don't have any bones. But everything they need, they have, because they live a good life on our beaches and in our water, right? Very good. The last creature we're going to learn about is a shark. Isn't he majestic? Now look, I know they can be quite scary, but the ocean is their home. And let me tell you something, we need sharks. Sharks are very important to us because they kind of clean the ocean for us. Every creature that's in our ocean has a job. And the shark's job is to keep moving. Keep moving and keep eating. Do you notice that the top of him is kind of a gray? Do you know why? Why do you think? I know some of you know that. When he's settled on the bottom part of the ocean, the fish that look down on him won't even see him. Why? What is that called? Because he's camouflaged. That's right. We've learned about that. And they can't see him because his color kind of blends in to the color of the bottom of the ocean. And if you notice, and you really can't see, you can see a little bit, but the bottom half of him is white. Why do you think that is? Because when he's swimming on the top of the ocean, the fish that's looking up, he'll kind of blend in with the light-colored water, right? So he can be camouflaged from that angle. So he's camouflaged from the top and he's camouflaged from below. Isn't that something? Something else that is interesting about a shark is that he's always in motion. He's always swimming. He never stops. He is, even when he sleeps, he is swimming. How would you feel if you were always walking? Even when you sleep, even when you eat, you were always walking. Do you think we could sleep and walk at the same time? That would be pretty difficult, wouldn't it? He can swim and sleep at the same time. Isn't that something? And he has something that he shares with the crab. He doesn't have any bones. The inside of a shark is made up of cartilage. And feel your nose. You feel that? You feel that hard thing in your nose? Feel your ear. You kind of feel that hard thing in your ear? That is what's inside of a shark. No bones. Just cartilage, like what we have in our ears and our nose. Isn't that something? But he has his special job, and he lives very happily in the ocean. And that's all he wants to do, is just swim, sleep, and eat. That's not too bad, is it? So those are our new creatures that we learned about. We can't forget about our fish. No, they're still in there. We can't forget about our dolphin that we learned about, right? A lot of similar things with the whale. And our very cute little seahorse that we learned about. Can't forget about him, how he hangs on with that tail. And his daddy has the pouch, just like a kangaroo. That's right. And let me just show you something. What is this called? This is our globe, isn't it? This is the globe. This is where we live. Do you see all of the blue parts of the globe? Look at all the blue. That is all of our ocean. Can you imagine how many creatures and plants and other living things are in our oceans? That is amazing, isn't it? We have so much more to learn about our oceans. But the most important thing is we always have to take care of her, right? We want to keep it clean, keep our fish healthy and our plants healthy, and just keep on studying and learning about our waters. I really enjoyed talking about the ocean with y'all this week. We have so much more to learn about, and we get to do it together.